So you might be perimenopausal if you have these symptoms. The perimenopause is the years leading up to the menopause. So the menopause technically is 1 day. It's defined as the day after your last period was 1 year ago. So meaning if you have a period, then for 1 year you haven't had any other period, that day that reaches is menopause. The years leading up to that is perimenopause, and during the perimenopause, it's a time when the hormones start gradually declining. So they fluctuate a lot, but while gradually coming down until they're completely like at their minimum level. So the hormones I mean are the sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. They're called the sex hormones, but they affect a lot more than reproductive organs. There's a receptor to these sex hormones in every single cell of the body, from the brain, bones, muscles, the heart, all your tissues, like everywhere. It affects your entire body. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the different symptoms you can expect in perimenopause. And I specifically mentioned the perimenopause because by the menopause, by the time you haven't had a period for 1 year, then you kind of have an idea of what's going on. But I think the perimenopause is a much more confusing time because obviously hormones are fluctuating. You're still having periods. Sometimes the periods are more frequent and other times they are more spaced out. So I think that's the more confusing time. The time after the menopause, so after you've not had a period for a year, then that is called postmenopause. So I myself am technically postmenopausal by that definition because I haven't had a period in more than 2 years, so almost 3 years I haven't had a menstrual period. And for me, in my case, it was due to the removal of my uterus when I had a baby. It's a long story that I mentioned in another video before that. I'll link down below all the videos about my hysterectomy journey. So menopause is on average between 45 to 55 years with an average of 51 in the UK. So 51 is for white British and about 49.6 for black Africans. And the perimenopause can start 5 to 8 years before your menopause. So if let's say your menopause is 45, it's possible for your perimenopause symptoms to start 5 to 8 years before. So that means even late 30s, someone can start getting perimenopause symptoms. I myself am 33 years old and I haven't got any of these perimenopause symptoms yet, or at least I think I've got a few, but for other reasons. And I'm just very interested because it's something that's really been on my mind. I've made another video about this before, but in this video I wanted to focus more on the symptoms because I feel like I did not cover them properly or I didn't go into a full detail of what exactly happens in the perimenopause. The first symptom is hot flashes and night sweats. These are what are called vasomotor symptoms and they are experienced by 70 to 80% of menopausal women. So that means that it's more likely to happen than not. If it doesn't happen to you, you're one of the minority. But the majority of people have hot flashes and night sweats. So my mom told me for her it feels like heat is pouring over you. It sounds really uncomfortable. I've never had hot flashes, but I can imagine. So if you've had hot flashes, let us know in the comments below. What does it feel like? What relieves it for you? So anyway, hot flashes, really. And there's a judge that I know who was telling me that in the winter, it felt more comfortable for her because it's very cold and people will be complaining, and for her she was just okay because you have all this extreme heat that happens when your hormones go down. Yeah, so that's the first symptom I want to talk about is hot flashes and night sweats. Then at night you'll be sweating due to the hot flashes. The next one is disturbed sleep and insomnia, and my mom did tell me that she's struggling with sleep as well. She's been struggling with sleep. She didn't have sleep, so that's one of the things which makes me sad, like especially obviously for her and other people, but also myself because I love sleep. I sleep like 8 to 9 hours. Like 9 hours of sleep is where I feel refreshed. Any less than that doesn't feel enough. And at the moment, I can't sleep as much as I would want, mostly because I have kids. I am co-sleeping. I'm sleeping while breastfeeding. So it would be so sad for me to lose the sleep. But yeah, that's another symptom that can happen if you're struggling with sleeping. It might be a perimenopausal problem. And another symptom is low energy levels. You feel like you don't have energy. The next one is low mood, feeling sad. And the other one is anxiety, which is worrying about things, is when you worry a lot. Like, that's what anxiety is. Anxiety is like feeling a lot of worrying. Like you're always worrying, but of course extreme. Most people in our culture, like Ugandan culture, I think anxiety, I don't know if it's there in any of the languages, but I know that people know about worrying a lot. And no, people know about worrying a lot. So if you find that you're worrying a lot more than you used to, maybe you are in the perimenopause. all these symptoms I've classed together, the low mood, the anxiety, the low energy, also sounds like depression. It's one of the features we look for out for clinical depression. So I think it's very easy for someone to come up and they say that they have clinical depression, and actually it might not be that. It might actually be that it's perimenopause. So that's the importance of knowing about this, because not all doctors are aware of menopause, by the way. We don't learn a lot about it in medical school, and unless you're particularly like trained and are aware of it, you might miss the symptoms. Another side effect is low libido and low sex drive, which those two mean the same thing. Is low libido is where you feel like you're not interested in sex, which maybe you were more interested in it before and now you're not, and that can impact on your relationship. And I imagine if women don't understand what's happening to them, they are very easy to start blaming themselves, because the way the cultures are made, the way the patriarchal society is, it's really a lot of times women are made as if the purpose is to serve men, which I don't agree with. But because of that kind of thinking, I think that if someone has low libido, that might also impact their mental health more. And I saw a research study that was saying that women, specifically in minority ethnic groups, which is black and Asians and mixed, like, minority ethnic groups, which are minority ethnic in the UK, but are actually global majority in the world, is that women put more importance on that side effect of menopause, of low libido and low sex drive. And I have a feeling that's the reason, although that's not the research, that's just my own personal interpretation of it. Another side effect is vaginal dryness, which is the low estrogen. You can have vaginal dryness, which I imagine will also cause low libido. If vaginal dryness is obviously going to cause pain during sex, and then obviously why would you be interested in that then? So it all feeds into each other. The low sex hormones cause low libido, which is low desire. But at the same time, even if someone had probably normal libido, they're going to have vaginal dryness. Not all times, but they might have vaginal dryness, which will also make things worse. Another symptom is impaired memory and concentration. So you struggle with your memory, you don't remember things as much as you used to, and then you can't concentrate as much on tasks. Maybe you can't read a book as fast as you used to, or you can't even sit and watch a program as long as you used to. Like, you can't concentrate as much, your memory is not as good, you're forgetting things. And another related symptom to this is brain fog, which is also feeling like unclearness in your head. So brain fog I have experienced, and I think that was, at the time, it was found that I had low folic acid, and when that was fixed, then that went. So these symptoms do not always mean perimenopause or menopause, but they can mean it.